Wait, what? Magnus hit 1K on YouTube? Nah, bullshit, bro. No fucking way. No fucking way. Let's go, bro. Let's fucking go.
So I'm trying to think of like this perfect way to start off this video, but then I realized that there is none. So let's just get into it. Well, thank you all so much for 1K subs. I appreciate everyone who subbed and supported me. I didn't think I would get it as soon as I did, so I'm super appreciative of that. And like my reaction to it was the exact reaction. My reaction to it was the exact same reaction that I thought I would have, simply that I would get kind of like some euphoric vibes, being kind of like proud of myself for a few seconds, and then after that I immediately realized that 1000 subs is no different than 999 subs, well, except from one sub, but you know what I mean, like nothing changes. I will still grind, and it is pretty cool. It's nice to see that 1K looks pretty clean, not gonna lie. So we're going to dive right into the Q&A right now, but first let us get some nice vibes, because that's what this video needs. So yeah, one white monster for 1K is going to be fucking, then it's slippery as hell. Shit. That's the sound I like to hear. A fresh, cold AF white monster. Monster tastes nostalgic as fuck as usual, but anyways, yeah, let's get to the questions. I actually got like more questions than I thought I was going to get, so... Oh, that was pretty nice. So yeah, thanks to everyone who asked me a question. I'll try to... No, I won't get through them all, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll try to get through most of them. And since this is like my first Q&A, I was low-key scared that I was only going to get like 3 questions, and one of them was going to be from my mom, and yeah. But luckily it didn't turn out that way, so let's get to it. The first question is from Sean Russell, and he asks, what's your 1 rep max on the seated calf raise? Like, honestly, that's not even funny, that's like a dumbass question. Who the fuck would do that? Ilya asks, are you thinking about competing in men's physique? Well, I think I actually at least want to compete once in my life, because it just seems like an amazing experience to do it at least once, but that's definitely not like my hobby, and it isn't healthy at all to get to that low of a body fat percentage, because when I do something I want to go all in. So baby, I'm gonna have anorexia again. What's up, what's up? From Marshall, bruh, what cam you use? Well, I can have a pic of the cam I use, because I can't like film it when I'm filming with it, you know. But it will be up on the screen right now. It's the Sony a6400. I'm also filming with the Sigma 16 f1.4 lens. Like, I'm not going to lie, over 6 months ago, I didn't know jack shit about cameras, but I wanted to step up my game. So for such a long time, like probably like 8 months, I didn't spend $1 fucking dollar on money. When I was out with friends, when I bought shit, I would just sit there and starve, and that's not to brag, that just goes to show that if you want something, you can get it, you just have to make sacrifices. And that's the hard part. But yeah, I'm like, when it comes to money, if I want something, I'm pretty stubborn. Mostly in a good way, because I can save money for it pretty easily, just because I won't use any money, and I stay at my parents' house as well, so they pay for the food, so I just eat whatever they buy, and I don't buy any clothes or supplement at the moment, or really anything at all. So yeah, and by the way, it's a really fucking nice camera, so I highly recommend it, but it costs a bit. So if you have some money, or if you are willing to save up for some months, then yeah, go for it. But next question. What made you want to start making YouTube videos by Izzy? I've kind of talked about that in a previous video, which is called like 1 year of making YouTube videos or something, so I would recommend to check that out if you want to see me go further in depth about that topic. But essentially, I've watched YouTube my whole entire life. I wanted to be like a gamer YouTuber when I was a kid, you know, just a stereotypical white fat kid who just wanted to play Minecraft and COD and shit. That was a dream back then. But then I got into fitness, and then for a lot of years I wanted to make YouTube videos regarding fitness, gains, all that good shit. And I was pretty lonely as well, so over the internet, oh shit, that monster has a lot of carbon dioxide. But over the internet, I've also gotten like a lot of like-minded people as friends. So yeah, that's pretty great. That wasn't a part of the answer to your question though. But yeah, that's essentially what made me start wanting to do YouTube. I've been watching it all my entire life, and I want to help out people and make them feel the same way that other YouTubers have made me feel, essentially. Next question is also from Izzy. Is protein / pre-workout essential for training? Kind of a weird question to have like protein / pre-workout, because that's like not the same thing at all. But protein, like generally, yes, it is essential, but what I can tell you is that most people overeat in their protein who is like just like into training and fitness and all that. But yeah, it doesn't have like it's not going to damage your livers or your organs or anything like that, so it works. But yeah, protein is important for building muscle, and pre-workout is definitely not important. Most people, I wouldn't even recommend it. I kind of regret starting it, because even before I started it, I knew that this was going to happen, that I was going to waste money on it, that I was going to feel addicted, that I kind of used it as a crutch and used it very often. And when I don't use it, I have a bad workout, not because it's that important, simply because the placebo effect. I just feel like I need to have it now to have a good workout, but at least some weeks I'm taking deloads of caffeine. Not often, not gonna bullshit, but I'm doing it sometimes. So yeah, protein. Yeah, that's kind of a weird question, but yeah, I recommend protein, but pre-workout I would for the most part not recommend it. But I think it's fun as fuck to just do it with the boys, you know, that's like a ritual. But yeah, let's go to the next question. A question from Gipsy. Is it necessary to train traps? No, completely not. Not directly, because you train them a lot in rows and deadlifts. So if you're doing a lot of different rows, or not even a lot of different, but just a lot of rowing movements, or a lot of deadlifting, or another type of hip hinge movement where you have to hold a huge amount of weight, essentially, which is going to stretch your traps, thus train them. Yeah, you don't need that as long as you do that, but you can. And in my opinion, traps are very overemphasized, but for some people, they definitely need it. For example, long length and skinny dudes with a long neck, they definitely should train traps, because it looks pretty ugly when they don't have it, or have a small ass neck with no traps at all. But for most people, and like for me also, I don't want my traps to get any bigger, and I trained them a bit in the beginning actually, and I kind of regret it. Next question is from Private Agin. What are your plans for the future with training and YouTube? Well, for training, pretty boring answer, but at this current state of time, I don't have any specific numbers that I'm shooting for. I just want to get generally bigger. I might have some numbers in the future that I want to achieve, and I have some long-term numbers, but not any short-term. I just want to get big for the moment. And my plans for YouTube. So, I wasn't sure if I wanted to say this simply because I kind of want it, but on the other side, I kind of don't want it, but I'm just going to say it because I have to speak things into existence, essentially. So, my plans for YouTube, or what I want to achieve, one of my lifetime goals with YouTube is going to be to reach 100,000 subscribers. And if you think I won't do it, I fucking hate. Nah, I'm kidding. I like you still. But yeah, I'm not mad at all. But you can have your opinion though, I don't care. Why exactly? Well, to be honest, one of the reasons why I don't really want this to be my goal as well is because I never started YouTube just for the money, or even for the money at all. I just started it to meet like-minded people, to help people out, because I know how it feels like to be a little kid who doesn't have a lot of friends and wants to get his body looking sick but listens to the wrong information. So I want to help teens just get the right information. And even if I make money from YouTube in the future, I don't want this to become like basically as strict as a job, because I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it because it's fun, because I like it. So if I were to focus on getting 100k subscribers, I would change up how I do things. I would have always this thought in the back of my head that I have to make things optimal for growing my channel, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to do with every video. I'm trying to make some informative videos that, yeah, can probably grow my channel, but most videos I just want to make them because I like them. So I'm going to do a lot of fun shit, and if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. I'm not forcing you. I'm not having a fucking gun to your head, but if you're going to watch it, I appreciate you. So what's your future plans? I gotta repeat the question because I always like talk about some random shit. Future plans with YouTube? Yeah, I want 100k subs, and I haven't even talked about the reason why I want it. The only reason I want 100k subs is because of the subscriber plaque. You get like a silver subscriber plaque, essentially. And the only reason I want it is because it's something that I can get, not something I can buy. It's something that I get, and it's going to be on my wall, and it's going to remind me that I fucking chased my dream, despite people laughing, despite it was hard as fuck to start, despite no one believing in me in the beginning, and yeah, just proving everyone wrong and really going after my dream and becoming a more happier person, essentially. So that's why. If there wasn't a plaque at 100k, I wouldn't really care, to be honest. So that's pretty much the only reason why I want to hit 100k, but I'm not going to fully commit to reaching it, simply because what I said previously, that I don't want this to become like a job, and I don't want to make videos to grow. I want to make them because I like them. So not going to be my main focus, but it would be fucking sick. Question from Menvo: how to get more calories in, how to get calories in more easily. Well, you simply just have to make a smarter choice when it comes to food selection. So if we have 100 grams of peanut butter and 100 grams of egg, you should choose the peanut butter. I'm not saying that you can't eat egg and only eat peanut butter, but it's simply because it's more calorie dense, so it fills you up less, and it has a lot more calories per 100 grams, so it's pretty easy to eat more calories that way. You just have to learn what the foods you eat, or at least the foods you have available, what kind of micronutrients and macronutrients they contain. So yeah, just be aware of your food options, essentially, and choose the calorie dense foods. Next question from Khaled: do you need to track macros and calories? Definitely not. Should you? Yes, especially in the beginning, simply because then you can eyeball the foods after, essentially, so that you can kind of still track, but in your head, because you're aware of the foods you're eating. But if you never track in the first place, you won't be as aware. You won't know what every exact food has in terms of macros. So yeah, do it definitely in the beginning, but don't become overly addicted to it, because you don't need to do that at all. I know of a lot of people who's become more jacked than I ever will be, and they haven't tracked their calories and macros. So yeah, it's completely fine to not do it, but if you want the best result, do it. Question from Hamdi: when to change training split? Well, there's like a lot of things to talk about regarding that, but I will just cover it briefly. The reason why we have to have training splits is because we can't have all our work on one day, because we have too much volume. So we have to split it up in different days, and we know that from the science, at least 2 times frequency when it comes to training each body part is good, meaning that, or not good, but it's better than once a week, meaning that you should always train your muscle groups at least twice a week. You can do them more, it has certain benefits, but yeah, at least twice a week. And when to change it, you should simply change it when you need to do more volume, and it's hard to do all the volume in, for example, 3 days. So when you're a beginner, start with 3 days. And when you essentially get more experience, you have to up the volume, up the sets. So then you should up to 4 days, then you should slowly increase to 6 days over multiple years. It's a long process. What's your favorite hobby outside of lifting? Probably like making YouTube videos. I don't have a lot of other stuff I do. Making YouTube videos, taking pictures, yeah, just anything regarding my YouTube videos, to be honest. Pretty boring. And that was from Renzi, by the way. Next question is from Jamie: best piece of advice to lean bulk, give some tips. Some people can struggle with, for example, eating too much, other way eating too little. So hard to give tips, but I can tell you straight up what to do to lean bulk then. Because yeah, the question wasn't that specific, but how do you lean bulk perfectly? Well, you have to find out your calorie maintenance. You do that by any sort of calculations. There is no calculations which are completely accurate, so you just have to use one. Try to use one that you need to type a lot of information in, because it's going to be a bigger likelihood of it actually being accurate then. But yeah, after you've calculated your maintenance calories, eat that for a week. If your body weight stays the same, that's great. And I need to say that every single day of that week should be very similar conditions, meaning that you eat about the same food, that you sweat about the same, that you walk around about the same, because your weight fluctuates on a daily level. So if you're suddenly in Spain and sweating a lot and flying over to fucking Alaska and just freezing, it will have a big impact on your body weight. I know that that's an exaggeration, but still, just make sure your days are the same when trying this. Do it for a week. If your weight stays the same, perfect. If it doesn't, it's not your calorie maintenance. And when you found that out, add 5 to 10% of your calories. If you are an experienced lifter, you should probably add 5% or less. If you are a very new beginner lifter, you should add 10% or maybe even a bit more. But yeah, those are just some general recommendations. Next question from Butterbee. Do you have a girlfriend? Are you available, girl? Yeah. Not a question, but I think you're really handsome and have a crush on you. Woohoo! Let's fucking go! Yes! Fuck yeah. I'm gonna be right back and lose my virginity. Joseph asks, where are you from? I'm from Norway, my guy. Any tips for starting a YouTube channel? Again, like, this is such a vague question, so it's so hard to answer, because I can have so many different answers for it, essentially. So yeah, but I can try to though. Any tips for starting a YouTube channel? There's like all of these pretty overused answers, but they're true, so I'm still going to say them. Consistency and quality. Most people, or I will say that most people actually over focus on quantity. So they put out a shit ton of videos, and because they put out the shit ton and post videos all the time, they don't have the time. God damn, my hair is so ugly right now. They don't have the time to make the videos good, and no one is going to watch your videos if you post every single day but the videos are crap. I'm sorry to say, but I'm trying to help you out, man. So yeah, focus on quality as well. Another tip is that I would recommend for a lot of people to start YouTube if that's what they truly want to, but if you only want to do it for sponsorships, for money and stuff, that probably won't motivate you enough in the long run, because yeah, it takes a lot of time to edit. Like my first videos, I spent so many hours editing them and no one watched them, so most people don't like fathom that the beginning is actually like the worst or the hardest part, simply because you're putting a ton of effort, you're staying at home all day editing, making YouTube videos, and no one is watching your content. So yeah, was that a tip? I hope it was. But yeah, just remember that the hardest part is to start, and after that it gets easier. From Ben, what would you say is enough weekly volume for someone who is natural? Weekly volume refers to your weekly sets for each individual muscle group, and there is no clear-cut answer to this. A lot of the science has pointed to 10 to 20 sets a week, but again, there's also been some individual studies that has shown that even a lot more sets than that, like up towards 30, has benefits as well. But what I can say is that you up your frequency, or I'm sorry, I meant your volume throughout your training experience. So when you're a noob lifter, start off with like 10-15 reps, and after the years you're gradually going to work yourself up to 20 reps or even more, not 20 sets. I was talking about sets all the time. I hope I didn't say reps. But yeah, 2 questions about them drugs, your opinion on PADs, and once you reach your genetic limit in the future, will you hop on gear? I don't think so. Like, my mindset can obviously change, but I'm pretty sure that I won't, because I've trained for a long time, and even though throughout my years I've been kind of like insecure of how slow I've gained muscle, it's still not worth it for me. There's so many downsides, and instead of masking the insecurity by paying a shit ton of money, by injecting myself with needles, by doing something illegal, a lot more risks and dangerous stuff when it comes to drugs. It's not worth it for me. I would rather focus on not being insecure about it and learn that instead of just masking my insecurities with drugs, which are expensive, dangerous, and illegal, at least in my country. So no, I'm not going to do that. I'm very sure I'm not going to do that. Before I hop over to the next question, I want to say that I don't have anything against people who take steroids, and I can see why it's worth it in some cases for some people. I don't think that everyone who takes steroids is insecure, but a lot of them are. So yeah, that's my answer. We've been going on for a long ass time, but let's do about like 2 more questions. Smart dude, what are you going to study now that you're done with school? Well, I might pursue or study some personal training stuff in the future just to up my knowledge on that even more. But I don't think I'll just go to school for just a job that I don't want, and I have to spend a lot of money getting that job. It will take multiple years of my life getting that job. I want to live my life. I realize that we only live once, so I'm probably not going to do that. And if I end up poor, I think it's worth it, because the meaning of life isn't to be rich, is to have a life worth living. And I kind of suck explaining right now, but I just want to be happy, and that's not the way to happiness, especially if not for me. So I can see why some people it would be. Not hating on the conventional school system. A lot of people is very for or against stuff. I'm pretty open-minded, so I can see both cases. But for me, what I said holds true, so I probably won't. Last question from 10 Games. Who inspired you? Because you inspired me. Also, where do you live? Well, who inspired me? Like, I don't know if you mean like for YouTube, for training, or whatever. But for YouTube, Mo Samuels, he's the guy who inspired me to start doing YouTube. Talked a lot about mind stepping out of your comfort zone, just living a life worth living, and not being like a fucking bitch to other people, and living life on their terms or for them, essentially. Like, not living the life that they expect you to live, rather live the life that you want to live. And for when it comes to training, probably like just not being fat anymore, because I was obese when I started working out, or at least when I started training. And probably my brother as well, because he looked pretty good when I was fat, so I wanted to get like a 6-pack and all that stuff. I answer where I live. Keep up the content. I appreciate that, mate. And I think that is going to wrap up the video. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question, because there's a lot of questions on here. A lot of questions I didn't get to, just because it's been lasting for a long time and my memory card is soon running out. So I gotta talk pretty quickly. But if I didn't answer your question, hit it in the comments. I'll of course answer. And I just want to say thank you all for 1K subs. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to get 100K subs or not, just because, as I said, I don't want this to become like a job, and I don't want to do this to get famous or money or subscribers. I want to make content that I think is fucking sick, and I hope you will enjoy it as well. Like the video if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, just dislike it and tell me what I can improve on in the comment section below. But thank you so much for 1K subs. We're not done, boys, and I'm going to make a shit ton of sick content regarding training, nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, and probably do some crazy shit in public as well. So I'm excited to see where I'm going to head with this channel. But you know who it is. It's been Magnus Bulkan. Why did I do that? Pretty much done.